Hi, my name is Ashley Graham, and I wanted to share with you about this virtual conference that I got to attend that I really liked and I thought that you would like too. So here's the slideshow if you kind of want to pause and skip around in the parts that you think is best. But I wanted to start off by giving the kind of like overall purpose of the event. So I believe, of course, it's a digital citizenship event. So the main purpose was really to kind of redefine digital citizenship. And kind of the main takeaway that I got from it was how we can all be better digital citizens and kind of share our knowledge of how we can be these good digital citizens with others and kind of redefine this next generation to be good online digital citizens. So, the opening keynote was Richard Culata. And if you want to pause this, I definitely would. If you're more interested in digital citizenship, definitely check this guy out. He is actually the CEO of the company that kind of founded or I would say hosted this event. So definitely pause and check him out if you are more interested. But what he did was he started, of course, by giving like a breakdown of what the conference was going to hold over the next 2 days. And then he started off by talking about why digital citizenship was important and whether or not we are preparing this next generation, kind of like what I talked about earlier. So then I went into this panel. And the panel started off by talking about their experiences. And then they gave a lot of resources. So I would say if you are an educator or really just anybody who is online, I would definitely go to the link and pause right there and kind of like write down or check out some of the resources because one of the organizations I was actually there was Facebook, and they actually have resources on how to be a good digital citizen. There was Common Sense who mentioned their curriculum on being a good digital citizen. So I would definitely say to check it out if you're interested. And then they kind of started talking about again this future generation that we want to craft into being good digital citizens. So then there was this fireside chat. It had Matt and Naomi, and this is probably the best part, one of the best parts to me of the conference. Naomi is this awesome young activist, and Matt was kind of asking her, like, how did you go from, being online and just kind of like researching activism, how to be an activist, to kind of facilitating these super powerful movements that we're seeing in the news today. And she said that she kind of started by, of course, like doing the researching. And then she started to get super inspired by watching others do the same thing, like get out there, be activists, speak up for what they believe in. And that kind of spoke to her to kind of go out and do the same thing, be authentically herself, have these difficult conversations that she knew she needed to have, and gain that important perspective to be this awesome activist. So I really enjoyed that part of the conference. And then we had our closing keynote. And her name was Sanaa, I believe. Let me go back up, Sanaa. And her story was honestly, I would definitely say if you watch any part, definitely, I mean, they're all so amazing. So basically, she grew up with alopecia, and she ended up being really bullied for it, but she really ended up flipping the script and giving herself freedom by sharing her story. She ended up realizing that she wasn't alone, and then she kind of used technology and kind of turned it into being her safe space. And she created all these amazing things from this. She created the International Day of Self Love, and then she created this nonprofit called Love Your Natural Self. She visits schools and kind of crafts these good digital citizens, and she's raised $50,000. So I would say she is doing amazing for sure. So, digital citizenship isn't just one thing. That's what we have to keep in mind. It is a list of do's and don'ts that we as digital citizens always kind of have to keep in mind. So I put our growth mindset picture right here. Just remember, you always have to be alert, always have to be active. And there's so many resources to help, like I mentioned, but we have to keep in mind, keep on growing, keep being open, and remember these stories like Sanaz, and remember